Hi everyone, my name is Monique Darling, and this is my dear husband Nathan Darling, and we're bringing you another episode of Confessions of Revolutionary Relating. And Nate and I have known each other since I was 11 and he was 14, and we met right here, like we're living in the same apartment complex where we met when we were that age. And so it's just really funny and full circle for us because we've been married for 23 years now, of being able to have this complete experience of here's where we met, here's how we grew, here's where we got married, here's where we had our own wedding ceremony, and here's where we are now as being lovers and co-parents, and like really being able to relate on our own terms. And so we've had a lot of people say, like last year, then he and I wrote a lot of really vulnerable posts and got all of our baggage and resentments and anything that we were holding against each other written and posted on Facebook. So it felt like we weren't holding each other to anything, our expectations or old stuff. But there still seems to be a place where we have a hard time playing with each other. And so for me, then that's looked like when we got married, then I was so open and so just like ready. I'm like, yeah, we're finally married. So the church says it's okay to have sex in all different forms and manners. And so for 2 weeks, then we had every form of sex that you can imagine. And whatever you're thinking, yeah, we did that. And then Nate started feeling guilty and went and talked to our bishop. And the bishop actually called us in for a formal counsel and basically said that I raped my husband and that sex was for procreation and that I wasn't allowed to be who I was. And after so many years of having that instilled in me, to have myself shut down that much and to have Nate already feeling guilty about sex and just like all it from that point on, sex hurt. And I still had sex. We had sex maybe like 50 times during those 15 years, the first 15 years of our marriage, because I wanted to have kids and I really wanted to connect. But it wasn't an enjoyable thing most of the time. And so we have that coming up through the years. And then even though I've been able to open up my body and be able to work through the shame and the like really love sexuality and love being and feeling safe and yummy in my body, then there's still been a place where he and I have a disconnect.
Oh, I'm up. Um, so my direction's a little different. Everything so far has been accurate, but with me there was more a matter of I had never had any sexual experience at all with anyone before I met Monique. So it's kind of like going to one of those restaurants where there's 5 or 6 different forks and you're not sure which one to grab. I've never really felt comfortable with sex at all, and if I grab the wrong fork, especially after our talk with the bishop, there was always a matter of if we're not doing it right, then we're doing it wrong, and and that was the end. I mean, every experience that a misstep was made, a disconnect occurred, that was the end of the experience, and we both went off and were very frustrated um,
and we couldn't talk about it because heaven forbid that we were doing something wrong. And like it was so sad. Like I'd spend days crying in the bathroom and Nate would spend days on the computer, and both of us wanting to connect so desperately, and all of the actions that we took just caused further disconnect.
except the computer. That one actually worked because once on the computer, she pretended to be somebody else and talked to me, and I was actually able to talk. And we had a really great experience that night until she felt guilty about it. But it worked great until it didn't.
Well, I felt like that I had lied or I manipulated him into doing some things with me, because even though he said that he knew that it was me online, it was still, it felt like a manipulation or a lie. And so I've since been able to get past it, and now it's fun. Like I love to role play with my lovers, and Nate and I love to cuddle, and we have some of the best conversations, and we love being co-parents. But anytime, like there was a couple of weeks that we actually just fucked, and that was fine, and we had some great experiences with each other, and sex didn't hurt like it had during the first part of our marriage, but it still didn't feel that connective, and it still didn't feel like we were really playing with each other.
Yeah.
And so, like for me, this is really vulnerable, but it's what you guys have asked to see. And so I don't know what the answers are yet. Like I don't have, in so many of my other videos or so many of my writings, I have an answer. And I don't have an answer for us. The times that we've tried, even in the last few months, and brought in a third person, or even like the other day, then we were sitting there and watching Daredevil on TV, and Nate's all, I'll go down on you if you want. And I'm all, why are you saying this right now?
I should point out that I'm not very good at building up to things. I kind of that came out of nowhere. and probably caught her by surprise. And
And-
there's some learning.
And the times when I've been really open and I'm all, let me go down on you, or let's go play, or let's do this, and then he's like, I don't wanna. And so it's like, it feels like we're never on the same page. Or even when the other person's really open, then we're still scared. And like all these other places where we dissolve the baggage and the resentment and we can just be open to who we are, then there's this thing, this friction around sexuality that's not a fun friction yet.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell them before we finish? I love you.
That's all I got.
I'm really grateful to this man because he's been such a support for me to be able to, he's been my anchor point, so I've been able to grow and learn and expand and be myself. And like what are the benefits of me being myself for you?
Oh, that's easy. I am really laid back and relaxed, and I don't push myself to do or try anything new. Or before I even met Monique, I didn't even try to think new things. So my mind has been opened, my heart has been opened. I'm far more able to accept people and to accept the experience that this life has to offer than I ever would have been without her. It's just huge.
So we may or may not make some more videos this trip before I leave because I head out early tomorrow. But I wanted to introduce you all to my family on video because you've been introduced in my writings for so long. And I really, truly love them so much. They're my greatest teachers. So until next time, this is Monique from Confessions of Revolutionary Relating. See you on the other side. Bye.
Bye.